Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. So here we are for the lesson number 1 of week number 7. In this particular week, my dear students, we are going to talk about past tenses. In this lesson, we would learn and we would talk about past indefinite tense and past perfect tense. My dear students, as far as you know, we have learned past tenses just before the holidays, so it would help you greatly if you can go back into your notebooks and would see some of the notes that you have noted just before the holidays. My dear students, to understand past indefinite tense and past perfect tense, I have set 3 objectives for the lesson. My dear students, by the end of this lesson, my students will be able to comprehend different aspects of past tense. As you know, past tense is a term that has 4 aspects, and then my students will be able to translate sentences from Urdu language into English language. And at the end of the lesson, they would also be able to test their language productive skills. Since writing and attempting paper is a productive skill, so the ultimate objective of the lesson is to test and recap the productive skills of my students. My dear students, just before heading towards past indefinite tense, I would like to tell you what is past tense and what are their aspects. My dear students, there are, as you all know, there are 4 aspects of every tense. Since we know past tense has also 4 aspects. For example, simple and indefinite, sometimes we call it simple and sometimes we call it indefinite, and perfect tense, and then progressive tense and past progressive, and you can say past perfect continuous tense. So my dear students, if you can recap all the detail of past tense, I would like to ask you to recognize all of these sentences according to their tense. So the first tense is I spoke against dowry. I was speaking against dowry. I had been speaking against dowry since yesterday. I had spoken against a dowry. So these are the 4 sentences I would like you to think about for a few seconds to know what are the types of tenses used in these sentences. I hope the answers are quite clear. I spoke against dowry. This is past indefinite. I was speaking against dowry. This is progressive past continuous tense. I had been speaking against dowry since yesterday. This is past perfect continuous tense. I had spoken against dowry. This is past perfect tense. So as you all know, as you are familiar with these tenses, it will be easy for all of us to recap and to reinvigorate our knowledge of past tenses. My dear students, just before moving forward to past indefinite tense, I would like to recap again the difference between sentence and tense. My dear students, tense is all about time. There are 3 times. There can be 3 times: present, past, and future. And sentence, what is sentence? Sentences are combination of words. When words are put together, when they are combined, they make sentences. Similar is the case in this sentence. The landlord was selling his property. Now, the landlord was selling his property. All the words are combining together to make one particular sentence. So this is a sentence. Now, was is telling you that it was some days ago, or you could say it was happened in previous year. So the sentence is predicting past tense. So this is the difference between sentence and tense. So my dear students, if we can move forward to past indefinite tense, my dear students, the first thing we need to know what exactly past indefinite tense is. Past indefinite tense is all about near past, what happened into the near past. So you can say that we cannot predict when it was happened in the past because it is named as indefinite. We cannot define either it is happened in the near past or in the far past. So this is what you need to remember. If the sentence has unfamiliar, or you can say indefinite type of pastness, you should write and you should convert it into past indefinite tense. My dear students, since our goal is to translate sentences from Urdu language into English language, the first main goal is to recognize tenses of Urdu sentence of Urdu language. For example, in board examination, you would be given 12 sentences, and out of the 12, you have to write translation of 8 sentences. So the first duty is to recognize the type of tense used in the Urdu sentence. So if the sentence has these conventional words ta tha, te the, ti thi or ti thi, you have to consider them as past indefinite tense. But my dear students, it has been observed by me and most of our teachers that most of the cases, in most of the cases, the examiner tests you through these type of sentences in which the sentence ends at alif, choti ye, badi ye, and then alif. If the sentence ends on these words, choti ye, badi ye, alif, if sentence ends on these words, then you have to consider them. You also have to consider them as past indefinite tense. For example, मैंने नमाज पढ़ी. Now this sentence is ending at छोटी ये. मैंने किताब खरीदी. So this sentence also is ending at छोटी ये. मैंने पैसे मांगे. So मांगे, it is ending at बड़ी ये. So if the sentence ends at alif, choti ye or badi ye, you need to consider them as past indefinite tense. Now if you recognize which tense is used in Urdu translation, it will be easy for you to translate them into English language. There are two particular rules that you have to learn for past indefinite tense. First of all, there is a different case for simple sentences, and there is yet another case for past indefinite other types of sentences than simple sentences. So if the sentence is simple, you have to use second form of the verb without any helping verb. For example, मैंने नमाज पढ़ी, I offered the prayer. I offered the prayer. I have to use second form of the verb. But if the sentence is negative, if the sentence is interrogative or double interrogative or negative interrogative, you have to use first form of the verb plus did. Did is not used with the in the simple sentence, in the simple declarative sentence. Did is used in the negative sentence, in the interrogative sentence, and in the double interrogative sentence. So with did, you have to use the first form of the verb. What does it mean? It means that in simple sentences you have to use the second form without did, and in the negative sentence, in the interrogative sentence, in double interrogative sentence, you have to use first form of the verb plus did. So this is the structure of past indefinite tense and all types of sentences. In simple sentence, you have to use subject plus verb plus object. You have to use second form of the verb. In negative sentence, you have to use subject plus did plus not plus verb, and then you have to use did. Now the question is why we use the first form with did. Because my dear students, in a single clause, you cannot use two main verbs in their second forms. You have to use one. So so the did itself is a second form of do and does. So you have used did, and then there is no need to put second form of the verb, or you can say the second form of main verb. So did should always have first form of the verb, first form of main verb. And then interrogative sentence, did plus subject plus verb and then object. In double interrogative sentences, WH words plus did plus subject. In most of the cases, students commit a mistake that they write WH words plus subject, and after that they use did. My dear student, it is totally wrong. You have to use WH words plus did plus subject. So why did you? This is correct form. This is how you need to use double interrogative sentences. So now, my dear students, I want you to test your knowledge, and whatever I've told you recently, you have to change sentences into English language. लोगों ने बाग में जलसा किया. Now this is the first sentence. How we can translate them into English language? The first rule is to recognize is it past indefinite tense or not. Since the sentence is ending at alif, we can recognize it. This is past indefinite tense. Now the second thing is to translate them into English language. Since this is the sentence which is declarative in its nature, so we have to use second form of the verb. लोगों ने बाग में जलसा किया. हमने आपका इंतज़ार किया. Now there is a alif over here. This is also past indefinite tense. Over here, choti ye over here, it is ending at choti ye, so this is also past indefinite tense. And then te the, क्या वो रोज़ाना वर्जिश करते थे. So this is conventional. This is easy for you. If sentence at alif, choti ye or badi ye, you have to consider them in that these sentences are past indefinite tense. And if the sentence also has te the, you also have to consider them as past indefinite tense. Now the time has come to translate them into English language. My dear students, I hope that you have converted them into correct English language. लोगों ने बाग में जलसा किया. People held a gathering. People held a gathering. This is the correct form. Baag में you can also have in a garden. People held a gathering in a garden. हमने आपका इंतज़ार किया. We waited for you. In both the simple sentences, what we did actually, we have used second from the verb. As I have told you, you have to use second from the verb in declarative sentences of past indefinite tense. इन्होंने फ़कीर की मदद ना की. Now this is a negative sentence. You have to use the first from the verb with did. They did not help the beggar. क्या वो रोज़ाना वर्जिश करते थे. This is interrogative sentence. Did they exercise daily? So it is incorrect over here. You have to use did they, and there's a question mark. There must be a question mark over here as well. So did they exercise daily? So these are the correct forms of these are the correct translation of these sentences. My dear students, what we have learned so far, and the most important thing is to translate Urdu sentences of past indefinite tense into English sentences. My dear students, in simple sentences, these two things are most critical. In simple sentences, we have to use second from the verb, as we have used people held a gathering. We did not use people hold a gathering. We have to use second from the verb. People held a gathering. But in other sentences, we have to use first form of the verb. For example, in negative sentence, we have to use the first form of the verb. So I hope it is clear to you now. So we are moving forward to the next tense, that is past perfect tense. My dear students, past perfect tense talks about far past. It is very clear for all of us. If we can explain it in few words, past perfect tense is all about far past. So the first duty is to recognize its Urdu identification. If the sentence ends at chuka tha, chuke the, chuki thi or chuki thi, we have to consider them as past perfect tense. Now, as I have told you in past indefinite tense, similar is the case in past perfect tense. In many example, examiner tests you. There are in a certain types of sentences of past perfect tense. For example, my dear students, isne, tumne, Ali ne. For example, a sentence has ne with the subject, and if these words are used in the sentence and the sentence is ending at alif, छोटी ये और बड़ी ये, and then था, थी, थे accordingly. Then you also have to consider them as past perfect tense. For example, उसने तुम्हारा उधार वापस कर दिया था. Alif, after alif there is था, and there is उसने. तुमने नमाज पढ़ ली थी. Right after छोटी ये there is थी, and तुमने. So if there is a subject plus ne and sentence is ending at the second last word ending at alif choti ye badi ye, and right after alif choti ye badi ye, you if the sentence ending at ta, ti or the, you have to use the, you have to consider them as past perfect tense. My dear student, it is very easy to translate them into English language because of its easy structure. You have to use always have to use third form of the verb as a main verb, and had as a helping verb. So the simple structure of simple sentence structure of past perfect tense would be subject plus had plus third form of the verb, and then negative sentence subject plus had plus not plus verb third form and then plus object. So these are very easy sentences to translate from Urdu language into English language. The most difficult thing in past perfect tense is to recognize is either it is past perfect tense or not. So through these Urdu identification you can easily recognize this is from past perfect tense. My dear students, now there are some sentences to test your productive skills. हम पहले ही चाय पी चुके थे. Now the sentence ending at चुके थे, so you can easily recognize this is from past perfect tense. मैंने इतना खूबसूरत जानवर पहले नहीं देखा था. So now मैंने, subject has ने, मैंने, and the sentence is ending at alif and then था. So this is also from past perfect tense. इन्होंने कभी शेर नहीं देखा था. There must be था over here as well. इन बच्चों ने कभी शेर नहीं देखा था. So now in बच्चों ने subject has ने and there is alif and there must be था over here as well. If it is not over here it would be past indefinite tense. So this sentence is इन बच्चों ने कभी शेर नहीं देखा था. So these are the Urdu identification of past perfect tense. Now how can you change them into past perfect English language? हम पहले ही चाय पी चुके थे. We have to use had and plus third from the verb. We had already taken the tea. मैंने इतना खूबसूरत जानवर पहले नहीं देखा था. I had never seen such a beautiful animal before. इन बच्चों ने कभी शेर नहीं देखा था. These kids had never seen a lion before. So these are the easy translation of past perfect continuous tense. My dear students, I have witnessed, I have seen examples of past perfect tense. There are another types of sentences in which two clauses are used. They have been appeared in the exam in recent years. मेरे आने से पहले डॉक्टर जा चुका था. So now this sentence has two parts, and since this is ending at चुका था, this is from past perfect tense. But my dear students, this sentence has two clauses. मेरे आने से पहले डॉक्टर जा चुका था. मेरे आने से पहले is one clause and डॉक्टर जा चुका था, this is another clause. So how can we translate them into English language? You have to translate second part first and the first part later on. Doctor जा चुका था, the doctor had gone or the doctor had left. मेरे आने से पहले, before I came. Now, my dear students, what you should remember from these sentences, मेरे आने से पहले, you have to change it into past indefinite tense. मेरे आने से पहले, you have to translate it into English language. If you talk about past indefinite tense, doctor जा चुका था. So this is past perfect. The doctor had left before I came. So this is the way you have to handle such kind of sentences. You have to translate doctor जा चुका, the second part of Urdu sentence to translate first, and this first part to translate in second term. So डॉक्टर जा चुका था, the doctor had left, मेरे आने से पहले, before I came. So this is how you can translate such sentences into English language. I hope that you have learned past perfect tense, my dear students. Now I have to recap all the details we have learned and we have talked about in week number 4 and week number 7. And we have not talked about past progressive and past perfect continuous tense till now, but we are going to talk about it in the next lesson or in this week. My dear students, if we talk about past indefinite tense, the first thing is to recognize its Urdu translation and then to change it into past tense English language. To change it into past indefinite English language, you have to learn 2 rules. With simple sentences, there is one kind of rules. With the negative, interrogative and double interrogative, there is another way of handling the sentences. If the sentence is similar, if the sentence is simple in past perfect tense, in past indefinite tense, you have to change it into past indefinite English language by using second form of the verb. Without did. If the sentence is negative in past indefinite tense, you have to use did plus first form of the verb. Similar is the case in past perfect tense. It is very easy. The most irritating and most difficult thing is to recognize its Urdu language, its Urdu identification. If the sentence adds at particular words like chuka tha, chuke the, or liya tha, or liye the, so if you can recognize Urdu translation, the game would be easy for you. For example, in English language, in past perfect tense, you have to use had plus third from the verb. This would be your duty to for translation of past perfect tense. My dear students, I hope everything is clear to you. I would ask you to go back to the video again and again, so no doubts could take place in your brain. At the end of this lesson, I would say goodbye to you and looking forward to past. I am looking forward to the past continuous and past perfect continuous tense. Have a good day.